Hey peeps, so I am here today to do the common black girl tag. This is an old tag. This is not by any means new. I've been meaning to do this tag for literally like maybe 3-4 years now. Yeah, so I really wanted to go ahead and film it today because I really just needed another video to film and not waste this makeup, you know. And speaking of this makeup, check out these lashes. Yeah, so these lashes are by Ghetto Cosmetics. You can use my code Amber MUA10 to get 10% off. Okay, so I'm gonna try and go through these as fast as possible because there's like 35 questions. So let's get right into this common black girl tag. Have you ever been told you sound like a white girl? So I think like in middle school people used to say that, but low-key it didn't really bother me too much because I'm like, so what does that mean? Like, so what are you trying to say? Like, but also it's like we need to stop doing that as black people, and within our culture is saying things are white, things are only for white people, because that's not speaking, you know, good things upon our people. And that is like, oh, it's okay to be this way because that's how black people are, or oh, if you want to come up then you got to be white. Like, no, we gonna come up because we can, because we have the capabilities, period. This whole nation came up because of us. So like we really need to stop doing that, like saying people sound white. So what, only white people can sound educated? Because first of all, there are white people that aren't educated. Do you drink Starbucks? So I really didn't for a long time, but now I love Starbucks like OMG. So I love the pink drink. I don't get bits and pieces in any of my drinks. So like mojitos and the strawberries they put in the pink drink, like I don't do that stuff. So no fruit. And then also I get this other drink. It's a strawberry acai. Replace the water with lemonade and then get 2 shots of one of their flavorings. You know, pick your choice. I typically get like mango and whatever fruity thing that they have, and then I get light ice, no bits and pieces, and I think that's it. Do people ever say you act ghetto? Yes, people do say I act ghetto. Yes, people do say I act ghetto because I be doing ratchet stuff. I mean, I guess people more so say that I'm ratchet than ghetto, but like I don't know, I kind of associate the two, but there is kind of a difference there. Can you dance? Yes, honey boo. Do you eat soul food or do you know what it is? Yes, honey boo. Check the thumbnail. Period. Do you go to private, public, or charter school? I actually went to a public school and a charter school before. How long does it take you to get ready in the morning? So I don't know what this has to do with being a black girl, but on an everyday basis, it takes me less than 30 minutes to get ready in the morning. And then say like this is a morning where I have an event, probably like 2-ish hours, or no, let's say 2.5 hours. And then 1.5 hours is like to do my makeup. How many selfies do you take daily? So I actually don't take a lot of selfies because I'm really not doing anything. Like I'm not getting dressed up, I'm not doing my makeup, none of that. So there's really no need to take a whole bunch of selfies if you ask me. Do you always try to look presentable? Absolutely not. I could care less, like honestly. What are your average grades in school? So I've always been towards like an A+ student, so I've always been on honor roll. I've always been not always, but like for the most part I was always on honor roll. And then also in college I did make the dean's list a couple times, and my finishing GPA was a 3.4. Do you have a lot of friends? So I wouldn't say that I have a lot of close friends. I have like 4 close friends, 2 girls and 2 boys. And I do have like a lot of friends in general, like people that I can call if I want to, people I can hang out with if I want to. But that's now in my older years. As a younger person, I did have a core friend group, so it was about like 5 to 7 of us, but like they individually like had more friends than me. How many followers do you have on Instagram? So I have 1,665 followers currently on Instagram. Does your name have Isha, Ja, or Neek in it? So mine does not. I actually have the most basic white girl name. Amber. My name is Amber. Now, Charmaine is my middle name, so I guess you can say my name isn't too basic because of my middle name. And my middle name is spelled different from most Charmaines. But I did have friends who all had Isha in them. Keisha, Quisha, Isha. So every single time I would say their names to anybody, everybody would be like, what? Huh? Quisha, Isha, Isha. Quisha, Quisha, Quisha. And I'm like, yes, those are my friends. So let's be nice. Do you roll your neck or eyes commonly? I really don't know what you mean by roll neck. Is this rolling a neck? Oh God, why am I cracking? Jesus. Is that rolling necks? Boy, what you think you talking about? But I do roll my eyes a lot, but I never understood what rolling my neck meant. Boy, who you think you playing with? Like, is that it? How often do you get an attitude? So I think I get an attitude often. I mean, I do low-key have anger problems that I've been working on ever since middle school, so I do tend to have an attitude or like be mad, but I really try not to show it as much as possible, especially like with people who aren't my family and stuff, because like they could care less. Do you like Taylor Swift? So yes, I do like Taylor Swift's music and I love her videos. That one video when she stood up on that horse, hunty, that was like my sophomore or junior year in college, and I would be sitting in the library watching her video like over and over, just the horse part, over and over and over. Like, she killed that. But Taylor Swift, as far as Black culture is concerned, may be slightly problematic. So have you ever had to deal with racism? So I wouldn't say that I've had to deal with any overt racism. No one's ever called me like the N-word to my face or anything like that, but there have been like a few microaggressions that I had to deal with. So a specific example I can think of right now is I was taking an early like I forget what the year was, but pretty much the year around the Civil War. It was focusing in the South, so I had to take a history class in college on that era, and it's specifically, you know, being a part of the South's history. And a lot of the people in there were white, and I really don't think that they knew that the teacher was not about to sugarcoat the purpose and the things that happened in the Civil War and the things about the South and all of that mixing together. So a lot of people dropped ASAP after the first class because he was like, oh, when you think of the South, what do you think of? And all these white people said this, and the third, all this yippee-ki-yay, we're USA, proud to be American type stuff. And he was like, yeah, so nobody said slavery. This white man said, so how come nobody said slavery? And that was my first thought, but I didn't want to be that Black girl already pulling the race card. So I, you know, didn't really say nothing when he asked that question. It was the first day. I was like, let me see where this is going. But anyway, one of the white girls in that class, I saw her on campus outside of class, and then she said dang, I can't remember her exact words, but she said something like, oh yeah, it's crazy like how much he like talks about Black people or something, or talks about slavery. And it's just like, why? And then you saw her like retreating into herself, like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have said that to the one of two Black people in the class. Maybe I shouldn't have said that when the whole class is about the Civil War, and the Civil War was indeed about slavery. Period. Would you date a white boy or any other ethnicity outside of your race? So a white boy, it's not that I want to say no, but what I want to say is he would just have to be a certain kind of white boy. Like, I don't want to date someone who doesn't know about the person they're dating, like where I come from, my struggles, the things about me as a woman and a Black woman. Like, I don't want to date someone who does not understand the Black experience, or even not even understanding, but just knowing, just ever questioning or looking into, just because you don't have to because of your white privilege. I don't want to date someone that's like that, and I don't feel like I have the composure to teach someone that lived their whole life not thinking about other people outside of themselves, outside of their race. So that's just something I don't want to have to do in a relationship. It's one thing to do it to just, you know, help someone, but it's one thing to have to do it because you're trying to love someone. So I don't know. It would have to really be like a match made in heaven, and he would have to just really have a deep understanding of Black culture, Black women, and Blackness, and really be thoughtful and willing to learn and relearn and unlearn. It would be a lot. But as far as someone who wasn't white, as far as like Chinese or Japanese or I can't think of, like, I don't know, like Somali, African, all those people, like, I would be open to giving it a chance, like more so than like a white person, just because of them being someone of color. So they should understand a little bit what it's like to be, you know, discriminated against and things like that. But it definitely would still be a big conversation and a big like learning curve, just because it's not the same, and it doesn't, all of those people's ethnicities or cultures do not have the same history as Black people's do, stemming from slavery in America. So it's and then it just depends on, did they grow up here or did they mostly grow up in their native country? It's a lot of factors. So I would never say just no, but it's definitely, for me, it's a very heavy thing. It's not something that I can just be like, oh, love has no race. Well, love may not have a race, but understanding someone and how you are able to get to know them, and your mindset on how you approach a relationship with the opposite race is definitely impacted by race. Do you wear a weave? If so, how often? So I really don't wear a weave. I really don't like the idea of my hair being like sewn down and it being stuck in there. I really love the idea of wigs and being able to take it on and off and braid your hair up or not braid it up and undo it and still be able to take care of it. Are you light skin, brown skin, or dark skin? So I say I'm brown skin, but I do have this distinct memory from when I was little. I was probably like 8. Me and my little sister walked to the corner store, and this dark skinned old man, people would always give us like dollars and stuff when we were in the corner store. Like, people just thought we were so cute. But this older Black man was like talking to us, and he said something and called me light skin. And me as a kid, just respecting my elders, I didn't say anything to him, but I just remember thinking to myself, I am not light skinned. I was like, I'm brown skin. Like, and even then, as a young little girl, I knew that this older man, he probably was alive as soon as, like, during Jim Crow and all of that. So his outlook on skin color is far different from somebody who predominantly grew up in the 2000s. Are you described as loud or quiet? So I'm definitely a loud person when I do talk. I do not do the quiet. What's the most annoying question you get asked? So I'm really not sure what's the most annoying question I get asked. I mean, there's annoying things that people say to me, like mostly stuff about me being skinny, when it's like, yes, I live with myself every day. I know that I'm skinny. And then it's like, well, if this person is bigger, I'm not allowed to say anything about them being big, because me as a skinny person, now I will be crucified. But everybody in the world is able to talk about how skinny I am. And it's just like, yeah, could we just all shut up? Have you ever been called Ratchet? Yes, so I mentioned that earlier. Do you pat your head or do you do the assisted head scratch? Now, I don't know exactly what they mean by assisted head scratch. In my head, the assisted head scratch is when you take a rat tail comb, the one with the metal, and you scratch with the comb. So most of the time, like when I did have braids and stuff like that in, you try to pat as much as you possibly can to not like get frayed hairs and all that, but sometimes you gotta go in with the comb. Who is your favorite African American couple? So I'm not really a big fan of these two people, but I love how they describe their relationship. I love how they went through things and they still truly loved each other so much that they were still willing to be together, and just everything that they've come over and how they really parent and accept their children. I'm talking about Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. I love their relationship and just how it's based on a friendship, and they really seem like they truly support each other and have fun together. Like, that's the type of relationship that I want. What African American woman do you look up to? So my number one is Beyonce. I just love Beyonce because she is such a boss, and it's just like, if Beyonce can do all of this, there's just no excuse. So I really always try to ask myself, what would Beyonce do? So growing up, it was always Beyonce, J-Lo, and Ashanti for me. I just love J-Lo and Ashanti because, once again, J-Lo is just like always been able to go with the times and always be relevant. And then Ashanti, her music really did not get the recognition that it deserved when it first was coming out. Her music was just so different, and I just feel like it was ahead of its time, and that she did it even though she knew her music didn't match with what was already out. I also love Ming Lee and her best friend Karen Civil. I literally love them. Like, Ming Lee's story is just so amazing. Like, how she literally went to Atlanta, I do believe, with just like $500, and then she had to spend it, I think, like on booth rent or something. I don't know if I'm getting the story wrong, but like half of her money was like gone immediately because like booth rent for doing hair and then her business cards. And I followed her before she was like big whatsoever. She mostly would be on Twitter all the time, and then as Instagram got big, she like kind of was on Instagram a lot. So I just love like how they are just both bosses and they're best friends, and they truly support each other, and I just love them. What is your favorite thing about being an African American? So my favorite thing about being Black is I just love our ability to make nothing into something. Being the descendants of African people, we have always been like creating out of nothing. Do you like fried chicken? Do you like watermelon? So I used to love watermelon when I was a little kid, but I do not like it anymore. And chicken, I do love chicken, but I am not one of those Black people that will eat chicken anytime, any day, anywhere. No, like, it gets old, and it can get old quick. Is your natural hair long? So this is my natural hair, y'all. It's grown out from a haircut. I had some designs, as you can see, and it's not long right now, but check out my old videos on my natural hair journey and you will see that my hair got really long really quick. Do you commonly talk with your hands? Yes, I do. Ba-boo. Period. Poo. Ba-boo. Ba-boo. Are you described as a loud person? Yes. Have you ever been in a physical fight? Yes, I've been in a fight. I've been jumped. Do you know how to twerk? Yes, I do. Do you have any white friends? Yes, I do. I do have like one white friend that I like actually talk to and see these days. I had a white friend in college, and then there's like these two white girls that were in my African American studies classes that I really like, and I still follow one of them on Instagram. Oh, and my first friend or best friend ever was white. I did go to a predominantly white school though back in elementary. did you enjoy this tag? Yes, I did enjoy this tag. I mean, I think I mean, I don't know the purpose of this tag. I don't know if this is to make people sound stereotypical or if it's to address the stereotypes, but maybe I've done both. So I'm sitting here on Google and I just saw that there's a revamped black girl tag. So if you like this video, make sure you thumbs up, and I will do the revamped black girl tag, or comment down below and let me know if you want me to do the revamped black girl tag. It seems to be a little bit more woke with the questions and not so like stereotyping type of situation. So let me know if you want me to do that one, and if you enjoyed this one, make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure you thumbs up, comment, and share this video with somebody else that might enjoy this video as well. And thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.